All right, let's prop that there. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Drive Talk Cars. And in today's episode, we'll be removing the front bumper, or some people call front fascia, off of the E63 AMG. So let's jump into the video. All right, so I'm taking off the front bumper. If you've seen the previous video, I attempted to do a spot repair on the clear coat. Didn't come out as anticipated, and shortly after doing that, a tire on the expressway hit my car. So now I have a big black mark on the side underneath the front. So I need to repair that as well as the clear coat situation. So decided just to take the bumper off to avoid having to mask things off. I can really get all the way around and underneath and everything that I need to do off the car a lot better than if it was on the car. So I'm going to show you how you take that off. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is remove the air intake hoses. All right, after you remove the intake hoses, you need to remove the hood cable here. There's a clamp here, here, and here, and it just unclamps. All right, so now with the cable unclipped, you want to move the upper engine cooling shroud, and it's held in by a clip here and a clip here. You can just pull that, and it comes up like that. All right, so now that that is removed, you have exposed the front grille bracket. There's one bolt there that you will need to remove. We want to remove this so you can remove your front grille. So let's take that off. All right, using a 10mm socket, we're gonna take this off. So it just swivels up once you take the bolt out. All right, so we wanna remove the front grille. There are 4 clips at the bottom that you need to pull it apart from. And then there's a groove at the top here that you slide it up and out. All right, so there's 4 clips that's behind the grille. One right there, another one right there, one right here, and the last one is right here. All right, we're gonna unclip these hooks here. Once you have them out from the bottom, then you just slide it up. There's little grooves here. Slide it up, and it's off. All right, so behind these covers here, you're gonna have screw that you need to unscrew. And then this is on the driver's side, as well as the passenger side. So you move those back and you unscrew those 2 bolts. That as well uses a 10mm. All right, next you're gonna unlock the quick lock. Essentially it's just a 1 turn. They have an indicator here, and then there's 4 icons. One is lock and one is an unlock symbol. And you just want to turn it to the unlock symbol. And then this just pops right up like that once you have it in the unlock position. So you want to do that on the driver's side as well as the passenger side. All right, so now that we have everything undone at the top level, there are a few bolts we're going to have to get inside of the wheel fender lining. So we need to jack it up in the air and either take the tires off or don't take them off, just turn them so you can gain access to the wheel fender lining. So let's jump into that. So on the E63, there's actually a jacking point in the middle that allows you to jack up both sides at the same time. So that's where I'm going to be jacking the car up today. The only thing you have to be careful with is to not jack on the plastic part because the bump is a little small. So I like to angle it to where the higher part of the jack is touching it, and then it can take most of the weight. So let's jack it up. All right, once we get the car jacked up, we'll make sure that you put your jack stands underneath the car. Even though we're not going to be under it, it's still nice to have your jack stands because we will be in the wheel area. Don't want anything to fall. So as I mentioned, we got to get in the inside here. So you can either remove your tire or you can just turn it so you can get better access to that. So I'm just going to turn it. All right, now with it turned, I have access to the inner wheel lining there, and we're going to start to remove that and expose the bolts that's holding on the bottom piece of the front bumper. So let's do it. All right, so inside the wheel well, we have a few clamps that we have to take off. We have one here, one there, one over there. There's one down here. And then there's a bolt, if you can see it right there, that we have to take off. That should be all that we need to remove, so we can take this part off and expose the bolts. You kind of see it. There's some bolts right here that holds the fender and the bumper together. So I'm going to use just a small screwdriver to pry underneath these snap-on clamps, and then we'll remove the bolts. All right, so there's two bolts underneath here and here that you have to take off to get the wheel liner out. All right, now that's free. Alright, so now that we have the inner liner removed, there's a few more screws you have to take loose, as well as some connectors for your park sensors, as well as your daylight running lights that you need to remove before completely removing the bumper. Alright, so using the T27 bit, I am going to separate the tires. And down below you have two harnesses. One is for your daylight running lights and the other one is for your parking sensors. You have to disconnect those before you can completely remove the bumper. So this one here, you clamp two tabs on the side here and then pull down. And then this one here, there's a little pull tab. I just put a screwdriver in there and separated it. And with that deattached, you should be able to pull it apart. There we go. All right, so now that we've successfully done the passenger side, we're gonna do the same thing on the driver's side, and then we can remove the whole front bumper from the car. All right, so there's two harnesses that you have to move, and we are on the driver's side. You wanna make sure that you're pretty gentle with them. They may be hard to come off at first, but just take your time and always pull from the plastic, not the wires. There's one. This one has a little tab that you have to pull up. This tab right here, you pull up. Once that's fully pulled, then you can slide off your harness. There we go. There was a little tab. I had to push this in to get it off, because it had the little clamps there. So before you pull it off, there is one more or two more. There is a wire that runs to the side marker on the driver's side and passenger side, of course. So what I'm going to do is untwist this cable here, untwist it, and then the bulb is there. You want to put that to the side. And also you will notice that there are guides here for the bumper. It slides on and off of that on the driver and passenger side. So on the passenger side, you see the same thing. Twist it, comes out. So now we should be ready to pull off the bumper. So I'm literally just pulling straight forward. All right, so there is one harness that I did miss here. Let's see if I can get it without breaking stuff. All right, let's prop that there. All right, so the one wire that I didn't get was right here. So make sure you get that before you pull the bumper off, or at least pull it out a little bit and then get that off. Looks like it goes to your daylight running lights. All right, and there you have it. Bumper is off. All right, so there you have it. We removed the bumper. It's not too bad. So now that it's off, we're gonna go ahead and paint it. So stay tuned for that video. And as always, do it until you can't. Until next time, I'm out.